I did $40,000 in the month of April with my agency, and the truth is, I wouldn't have been able to do it without AI. Artificial intelligence. It's a buzzword that's constantly being thrown around, especially in those Twitter threads of top 10 ChatGPT tools that will change your life, or some of these AI side hustles that'll make you rich types of videos. While the technology is most certainly impressive, and it definitely will change our world as we know it, there are very few people who actually understand the technology and the nuances behind it. So they resort to developing these half-done, half-baked AI tools that don't actually solve anything, and then spitting out and regurgitating basic information that they got from ChatGPT. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because if you're a copywriter, for example, you shouldn't be using AI to do your job for you in the first place. Instead, you can use AI to build a starting place for your copy and then build upon that foundation. AI is a supplemental tool, some kind of framework or foundation to build off of. But these answers weren't enough for me. You see, I set off to find a way to implement AI into my business that would actually work and thus help me scale, whether that was just a handful of really good tools or automations, etc., etc. So I set off on a quest to find the One Piece.
What?
Wrong video. Sorry. But without further ado, without holding you guys too much longer, here's some actual useful information on how to implement AI into your business. Now, the first thing I knew I had to do was to outline the tasks that were taking the most time out of me and had the least amount of leverage for my business, so that I could either automate them or I could delegate them to someone else. So I developed a delegation matrix. And basically what this is a spreadsheet of every single task that I'm repeating constantly in my business, whether that's outreach for lead generation on social media, or creating content. So I came up with a few different items, and I'll give you the examples. So first and foremost, I've got filming these videos, I've got editing these videos and writing the scripts, writing my cold email scripts, I built our agency's landing page, and then you've got onboarding clients and doing cold outreach, which onboarding and doing cold outreach are very necessary parts of your business, but at the same time, they can be easily delegated to someone else. Now, when I take a look at that list, obviously I can't use AI to film my YouTube videos, or maybe I am already. I'm using the same AI that Joe Bartolozzi was using, so that's pretty cool. But the editing I have outsourced. I also take a lot of time to write scripts for my videos, but that's something I prefer to do personally. I don't want to really outsource that to AI. I do use AI to at least kind of build a framework and get a rough outline of what I want to be talking about. So I want you to take a list of every single task that you're doing on a day-to-day basis in your business and organize it exactly like this. Something that might help is doing a 72-hour time audit so you can see exactly where your time is going. So you're going to have that task, how many hours per week it's costing you, and then you're gonna have 3 separate scales from 1 to 4. A 1 to 4 of how skilled you are at the task, a 1 to 4 of how much you like the task, and then a 1 to 4 of how valuable it is for your business. From there, we can decide if it should be automated, delegated, or just straight up eliminated. Now, at the end of the video, I'll show you where to get your own delegation matrix so that you guys can do this. But for now, when I did this, there were a few tasks that really stuck out to me like a sore thumb. And those were outreach on social media, onboarding clients, optimizing our landing page, showing back and forth in the DMs, aka appointment setting, and then finally writing cold email scripts and DM scripts and constantly trying to optimize that stuff. Now today, we're gonna be talking about the most crucial one, which was the lead generation aspect. Now this is the literal lifeline of your business, and while we won't have time for the rest of them today, let me know if you guys want them in another part or series of parts. I can definitely do that. Now first and foremost, we have outreach on social media. Now there are multiple channels where I do outreach. We've got Twitter, LinkedIn, Grindr, you name it. Now, as you'd imagine, reaching out on all of these platforms every single day takes up a lot of time, and it's kind of just like a mind-numbing task. So it's not really doing much for me as a business owner when I should be working on higher leverage things. So I set out to find some platforms that would allow me to do this at scale and effectively. Now, there are 2 ways that you can delegate this. You can either A, hire a virtual assistant or VA, or B, you can delegate it to an automation tool. And I elected for option B, mainly just because I have more control over it. But with the recent price changes in Twitter's API, it's been a little bit hard to find something that works. For a while though, I was using a tool called ContactBird that basically allowed you to build an entire CRM and automate that entire process of Twitter outreach. So as you'd imagine, I was able to send a lot of DMs and keep volume going. This was way before the price changes of Twitter's API, so this is what was most important for me. But that leaves the problem of Instagram and LinkedIn. Now for Instagram, I couldn't really find anything, but for LinkedIn, that's a different story because I've been using a tool called SmartLead AI. Now I will endlessly rep this thing, is not sponsored. I will endlessly rep this thing until the day I die because it's that amazing. Now, what they have that makes them so special is multi-channel outreach sequences. So basically, Smart Lead AI is a cold email software specifically, but you can integrate social media like LinkedIn into your cold email sequences. So, you have your initial pitch, and then maybe you view their profile on LinkedIn because people get a notification when you view their profile. So you're always keeping them in your mind. So it'd go something like, you send your initial pitch, wait a day, view their profile on LinkedIn, wait a day, send your email follow-up, wait a day, send a connection request on LinkedIn, wait a day, and then send your final follow-up. If they don't answer after all of that, I don't know what to tell you. They just don't want your service, I guess. But basically, this means that I can incorporate LinkedIn into my email sequences. So those were the tools that I used for outreach. Now, alternatively, if you're balling on a budget, I'd recommend prioritizing Smart Lead, as cold email and LinkedIn are probably going to be your best bets of landing some quality leads. But if you're wanting to reach out on social media like Twitter or Instagram or Grindr, like I said, then you can actually use a tool called TextBlaze. And essentially what this does is it allows you to store snippets of different DM pitches that you might have, and you can basically put in a command anytime you're reaching out to someone, and it'll automatically paste that DM pitch in the DM. That way you don't have to keep typing them out every single time you message a new person. Now finally, we have the actual outreach scripts themselves. So let's talk about them. When it came to cold email, I didn't want some generic scripted ChatGPT email because prospects would be able to see right through that. But that's when it occurred to me, what if we built something ourselves? You see, a couple buddies of mine had been getting together and kind of brainstorming some ideas for a software. Now, the software that we initially developed is called Pegasus UGC, and it's specifically for UGC creators, although we're expanding it to all content creators. But my friend Carson had added something absolutely ingenious. Now, this is just a bit of a shameless plug here, but if you guys want a free month, you can use code LAUNCH and you'll just get a free month. But shameless plug, you don't have to. Now, while I am obviously biased towards it, to give you my honest opinion, I think building our own tool was one of the best decisions that we could have ever made. And if you have that option, you have the capital, I'd 100% recommend it. Essentially, within the tool, you can plug in your case studies and you can plug in your offer, and then you can put in your leads information, and just from that, it will not only generate your first email, but an entire email sequence with the initial pitch and 2 follow-ups as well. Not to mention, they're actually pretty decent emails. They have your personalized first line, they have your initial offer, your case study line, and then they have your call to action. And not to mention, from there, you can just edit them and optimize them and just make them look pretty. So it saved me a lot of time. And after some fixing up, you've got some really solid cold emails. But I'll read you one we did for a now client. And this is just completely straight out the gate. Haven't edited this at all. Here's what it gave. It says, "Hey Num, I'm blown away by the innovative approach you guys are taking with Nobody's NFT. Unique trading signals offered from the lens of UGC creator is such a fresh take on the NFT world. Do you guys find that you're struggling to leverage social media to your advantage? That's where my team and I come in. Our expertise lies in creating high converting UGC content that boosts brand awareness. In fact, we helped ZerkPass raise over 7 figures in March of 2021 through a curated viral marketing strategy. I have a couple ideas on how we can create engaging content for Nobody's NFT. Would you be interested in discussing further? Our guarantee is a 6-figure raise in 90 days or you don't pay. Looking forward to your response. Best, Sean." Now, obviously, it might be a little bit long, but it hit all the nails on the head. And with some fine tuning, it's a pretty solid cold email. So boom. That easy. Now, with that being said, I gave you guys a lot of information in this video, so let's go ahead and recap so you can walk away with some actionable steps. Now, first and foremost, you can find a link to the delegation matrix in the description. And with this, I'll also be giving you guys my personal business and AI toolkit, as well as my $100 a day side hustle video, 100% free. So you're getting 3 things just because I'm feeling nice. So your actionable steps look like this. First and foremost, get your delegation matrix. Second, identify high leverage tasks in your business and delegate or automate the rest of them. Third is getting rid of time wasters or time wasting tasks. Fourth is finding a software or hiring a VA to help you with said tasks. And fifth is focusing your energy on the high leverage things that you enjoy and that you're good at. That's the best place that you can be in your business. And when it comes to software, you don't need everything under the sun. You don't need to be spending $500 a month on software to write DM scripts, a separate software for cold email, a separate software for this and that, and it's not necessary. Especially if you don't already have that cash flow, you're just gonna be burning money. And depending on where you're at in your business, even just saving a few hours of time a week can be absolutely key in accelerating your business growth. So lots of free value right there for you guys. And finally, if you're interested in using Pegasus UGC, our tool, you can head to pegasusugc.com. And again, you guys can use code LAUNCH for a free month. No strings attached. You know, it's a free month, you guys can have it, whatever. But again, just a shameless plug. So with all this being said, I hope you guys found this video very valuable. And if you did, be sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more content from me, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another upload. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.